Hey, it's Cody
and Matt, and thanks for joining us for another episode of
the ComaCast. Matt, we're going to be diving into all things involving the LGBT community, including our own lives.
And don't forget our cats.
We don't want to forget them. The ComaCast starts now.
Podcasting from the Lone Star State in Southern California, you're listening to the Coma Podcast with Cody and Matt.
Hey, everybody, and welcome.
Hi, Cody.
Hello.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yay. I can. We're having a much better day with this than I think Sunday night. It was just a total hellscape.
We're figuring this out. We've done
Right.
I think 4 or 5 of these now.
Right, and we may be doing some ASMR because since I haven't eaten today, I might be eating a piece of pizza, or at least while we're doing this.
I know. What did you tell me? You had like a coffee cake?
Yeah, I had a piece of coffee cake from Starbucks. I ordered it this morning. I was trying to be like good husband, and it ended up being delayed, which is fine. They're always so wonderful to us, the drivers and everything. So um, it wasn't. I mean, it's whatever. But it ended up taking an extra 45 minutes, which worked out fine because David slept in quite a bit. But I got like I tried like a scone and some of their coffee cake, just some little things because they
Mm-hmm.
had $0 delivery for $15, and I was like, oh well, you know what, perfect. We can get a little snack, and I don't need to clean the kitchen till later. And then we haven't really done much today. And David's like, "What do you want for dinner?" I'm like, "A pizza," because I don't feel like cooking. I'm not there.
Yeah, tonight is our burrito night. So we're getting our California burritos. So I'm always excited. I always can't wait till Friday because I love the burritos. And oof, I'm hungry now. I just had
Yeah,
cereal earlier
I
though.
am really hungry, and I'm like, oh my god. And
What
David's
kind of
like, "Hey, I'll be
pizza?
back." Probably just a cheese pizza. We don't really trust the local places. I've not done so well for pizza. It kind of tastes terrible. But
Yeah.
if you keep it simple, it's worked out really, really well. So as good as it's going to be. So I'm not. It's not the staff or anything like that. It's
Yeah.
just I think literally the companies. But it's whatever. It's pizza.
Um,
And David
we
texted me here in my office and was like, "Hey, I'll be back in a few minutes." I'm like, "Oh, you're going now?" Yes.
The pizza's coming. If you're on, thank you for joining us. We have a few people that are now live with us. Of course, as always, if you want to join us, you can join us. Just let me or Matt know. You can, if you have a way to message us, you can message us, of course, on Twitter, and then let us know you want to be on, and we can just like send you a link, and you can join us here on the show with video, just audio. And you can do it all from your phone if you want to. So it's easy and quick if you wanted to say something or chat with us for a bit as we wrap up this work week. Hope everybody has had a good work week so far. Um, any plans for the weekend?
um, no, it's supposed to be like 9 degrees, a low of 9 degrees on Sunday or Monday, which is that's really, I mean, it does not usually get that cold here. Um, this is a little odd. So this is an extreme swing in our weather.
Yeah, yesterday we were gonna be live yesterday, and I wasn't feeling too great Wednesday. I can't even remember what the issue
Yeah.
was on Wednesday night, but I ended up like not doing what I needed to do, and that was to knit a scarf. So I had to do it Thursday morning, and basically, like I've knitted my nieces and nephews hats and scarves, and I hadn't sent them yet, and I still needed to make one more scarf, and so I had to hurriedly do that because I wanted to be able to send it to them, so that they could enjoy it in this super super cold weather, and like where they are, it's going to be like snowing and like almost
Yeah,
blizzardy conditions, and
that's actually, I
so
mean, I'm a little surprised. And so we're kind of planning. We're probably just going to run to the store today or tomorrow and get everything we need to just be home for 2 days. When I lived in the north, you just sort of deal with it. But when it's not normal, when it's so far one way, um, it's just easier to just stay off the roads for 2 days because people don't know to look for black ice here. And I do always read a lot about people talking about what expert drivers they are in the snow and ice. And I carefully like to remind them that having been a claims adjuster for a very long time, you are not experts up there. There are things that you do and you don't do. But if you know to look for it because it's second nature, you do obviously you do a lot better. But also let's mention that the roads are salted. They are not salted here because I don't own salt trucks in a lot of our
Mhm.
southern half. It's just easier to close down those towns for a day or two than maintain salt trucks and stuff like that for the other 363 days a year. That'd be a total waste of money. But yeah, that's we're just gonna try to stay off the road.
Yeah.
I was gonna make a video today. We weren't sure if we're gonna do this. I was like, "Hey Cody, I'm just gonna make a video basically saying that we're struggling with not being 20 anymore because we were both just really not feeling good yesterday."
Well, thankfully, it's not horrible, but I do have like a sty in my eye, and ooh, it did. It wasn't. I was feeling weird yesterday, like something was in it, and I couldn't see anything. I thought it was like an eyelash, and then like then I was pretty sure about that. And then last night it started swelling up a bit and you could see, and I was like, oh, so doing everything I could to deal with that. Thought I was going to wake up with my eye completely like closed, but it's just a
I was
little
a little
sore now.
surprised when you texted me and said, "Hey, I'm good for it if you are," which this is a lot of times how podcasting went in season 1. Sometimes we did try to have a plan, and we valiantly tried, but I was also a full-time student almost the entire time until literally this semester, where I don't have any classes while I wait for nursing school letters to
Yeah.
come back, which won't be for months. And so, hallelujah, a pizza just arrived.
Uh-oh, the pizza has arrived, everybody. David
I
is a
always
savior.
David is everybody's savior right now. But it's definitely easier to just stay off the roads, avoid everything, and just kind of let things happen. And then trying to stick with a plan of podcasting. Back to that, we really did for the most part try, but sometimes especially midterms and finals weeks could put me in a really it's stressful. Trying to take a lot of these classes, it's just like, woo.
It's a lot.
And
Hey,
then,
Dominic. So I'm just
hey,
going to say
Dominique's
real
here.
quick, Dominic is here. Glad you are and you've joined us. It's okay if you're a little late. We're here for a bit. Matt's going to enjoy some pizza. Matt has only eaten coffee cake today.
Yes,
so he
that
needs
was
to
not
eat.
intentional. I slept in a bit. I've not been feeling so amazing lately. But good news is we might actually have some answers for that. So we'll let you guys know.
Yep.
Actually, I'm really excited about it because I think it's something that a lot of people struggle with and don't know. This is separate from ADHD. And I did learn that this issue could possibly contribute to some of those issues too. So this is something I've been looking forward to answers to since I was probably at 19, 20.
Yeah.
So I'm super excited about that. But some of the effects of that kind of make me not feel so good some days. And I spend those days trying to rest or lay on the couch. Yeah. So, or take a hot bath because it gives me relief. So if you've had an extended conversation with me in DMs or on Twitter threads, I've probably been sitting in the bathtub with water pouring over me, just relaxing.
I know you were enjoying the bath yesterday for quite some time.
Yeah, I was in the bathtub for probably 2 or 3 hours at that time. Yeah, that's normal. A lot of people don't know that, but now as a kid that was normal because it's a place I could go to kind of like hide and get away from the noise of like my family and the world. And not because there was anything wrong at any particular moment. I just realized that if you took a shower or bath, people kind of leave you alone. And I'm like, oh well, I figured out the secret to life. So essentially I was a 32-year-old parent of 2 mentally at 6 because that's how I was.
Matt, did you see this? I guess it was this week. I can't remember now. Everything runs together these days, and it has for the last year. But did you see the guy that couldn't get the filter off, the lawyer from Texas, and he was a cat? I'm not a cat. Okay, we're gonna show you if you haven't seen it.
I did watch the video. It's hilarious.
I mean, yeah. Here we go.
Mr. Ponton, I believe you have a filter turned on in the video settings. You might want to take
we're
a
trying look. Can you hear me, Judge?
I can hear you. I think it's a filter.
It is, and I don't know how to remove it. I've got my assistant here. She's trying to, but I'm prepared to go forward with it. I'm here live. I'm not a cat.
I can see that. I think if you click the up arrow next to the
I loved it.
Funnier every time. I'm not a cat. Very good.
Like, yes, we understand you're not a cat. I mean, I feel like all older people would be like that. Like, but here's the deal. Sometimes, like, I don't really use filters a lot on my phone. Like, cause like, okay, like, why am I gonna be a dog or a cat talking to Matt?
But,
Sure, but like, I couldn't figure
yeah,
it. What
Dominic,
like,
that was my favorite part. Yeah, very good. I know.
I
Even James only talks back to me on Tuesdays anyway, so I know you're not cat.
I my niece was putting filters on one time, and I was like, well, how do you get that off? Because I couldn't figure it out. I mean, I eventually figured it out, but like, I can like on first of all, I didn't even know you could put filters on Zoom. Um, but also at the same time, like, well, I'm gonna re-rack it up again, but like, the filter isn't even that good. That's the other thing. The filter is a little rough, I have to say.
My favorite part is when the eyes were like,
Yeah.
ugh.
They blink
Yeah.
and then you're gonna oh, there they are right there. Judge, it's not me. It's me. I'm ready to move forward. What if they had like he couldn't get it off and they had to move forward like that?
I don't know what would have happened. I would have died laughing. One of the I don't know if you ever followed my Snapchat during the days of the drama llama. Um, but there was a filter. I think it was a llama. It might have been something else, but it was this llama, and I would post the adventures of this llama as if it was on a tour of like the world. And I didn't know anybody was paying attention. I was literally doing this being stupid, and I'd post about this llama going to the watering hole on the Sahara, and in its adventures with Slut Horse, also known as the zebra. And this, I would post like whimsical shit like daily about it. And then I would talk about going out to the club that night at Club Komaseyama with, my yak friends and my llama friends. And I didn't post one day because I couldn't think of anything to write. And I got probably 10 messages from people like, well, what's the llama doing today? I'm like, y'all serious? Oh my God, there's like a whole following. Nobody ever commented on it. Maybe one person would be like, oh, LOL. But I was doing it entirely for my own entertainment. And this filter went away after, this was, when the filters would go away after a few weeks. And it was really just ridiculous. Like one day I think I posted, some tourist tried to pet me today. I headbutted her and stole her zebra cakes. Zebra what? And then, but then there was this whole adventures of basically tried to, Slut Horse was being shady. So I texted the Lions the location, texted the Lions the zebra's location, Slut Horse's location, and ran. Just.
Are these still available?
I haven't seen it in a while. I actually have a bunch of these little clips saved on my phone still. I have them saved in my Snapchat. I'll send them to you and you can look at them. But this is just, I actually quietly had a third account on Twitter called the Drama Llama, and I posted these clips of it and this llama's adventures on it, and I eventually deleted it because I couldn't think of anything to go with it, and nobody really followed it.
Yeah.
But it was solely for my entertainment, and it was pretty funny to me. I mean, I had a great time with it, with this filter. But on Zoom, I've only ever used Zoom for like, I'd used it for school last semester, so I would not even touch anything. I literally clicked join my class and leave my class because I did not trust myself to not do something kind of dumb. I mean, I just told you how I spent 6
another
months
drama llama
on Snapchat.
I mean, perfect background for you now, though.
Oh yeah, you're right. Damn.
I'm just saying.
I guess, my nephew loves this background, and I can't really say we use the finger puppets as like a zebra. If I teach my 4-year-old nephew how to say Slut Horse, his mother might be upset with me. Actually, she would probably laugh. Like,
and then
yeah, well, in front of him, berate me, but later she would probably laugh. Dominic, I always recommend that there's not really a bad time for a pizza. I don't care if you all, whenever my funeral is, throw me in, order a pizza. I don't give a shit.
We had pizza last week. It was really good. That's the one I was telling you about. It's like the carne, and it's like the sausage, the meatballs, the hamburger meat, the bacon, the red peppers, the onions.
That sounds delicious.
So delicious.
What's on this pizza? Oh, Dave, this looks like a mushroom and onion cheese pizza. I like
That
mushroom
sounds
and
good.
Really? I'm surprised. I felt like there's something on here you wouldn't have liked.
Well, who knows? Who knows in person? Maybe I'm like, okay.
You're like, ew, is this organic?
I was telling Matt last
Where,
night.
how were these onions treated before they were plucked? Or, I'm sorry, stolen from their families of other onions?
I was telling Matt last night. We were making hamburgers, and we used Beyond Beef, and so they were Beyond Burgers. And I was telling him how much I love Beyond Burgers. Like, so when we were getting to go out every day, or not every day, I didn't do it every day, but when we were getting to go out like during the week and just be normal, I would always get Beyond Burgers when we went out to different places. And I just love them so much. And so I'm glad I get to like make them now at the house. And they're so delicious.
I definitely like plant-based burgers. I found that I really, really like it. It's made overall transitioning to more like a vegetarian pescatarian diet
Mm-hmm.
really easy. Oh, Cody, which I also learned at the doctor's yesterday that
Mm-hmm.
I pretty much have to do that. I was going to have to do that anyway.
Mm.
I didn't know that, but
Well,
yeah. Cody and I were discussing the struggles of, not being 20 yesterday. Because I like being 34. I'm very happy being 34. But the some of the struggles, what was it you said to me last night? You're like, I didn't really picture it being like this. And he's like, a sty in my eye. I ate something that made me not feel
my
good. He's like,
hip, my hip.
yeah. And
I
you're
have
like, oh
hip
my God, my
reflexor
hip.
muscle issues.
Yeah. And I'm over here like, yeah, stiff ankles. And I got put on blood pressure meds. And I'm like, what? Like, I'm like, what the hell? This is shit.
Well, you're still pretty young compared to me.
Oh, yeah. Well, the hard part here is I am technically younger than Cody. He just looks younger than me.
Well,
And
I think that's the thing. I feel like since I look and I feel in generally I feel young, that like people so it's weird for other people because they're like what, and then for me it's also like I don't feel like I'm that old either. Like I feel like when I was younger and I thought of someone my age, I'd be like, yep. Not that they were ancient, but like just like okay, they're older. Like I don't feel like my age. I guess most of the time I don't really act like my age either, though. So.
Mm. One second on that.
Matt's ASMR. If you're
I
just joining us real quick, Matt is eating pizza
yeah
because he hasn't eaten all day basically. He had a coffee cake, so that's why Matt is eating
yeah.
pizza.
Sorry about that, everybody, but here we are. This is a real part of life. This is the real Coma Cast. Yeah, gymnastics will like keep you in great shape, but also somehow destroy you. One thing I did not learn playing sports was how to tape up like shins, ankles, wrists. And if I ever have kids and when they want to play sports, we're going to teach them about stretching and not that. Yes, sometimes you do train through discomfort and pain and whatever, but there is a limit. And sometimes it's very much live today, fight tomorrow. Take the practice off, let your body rest, and come back to it tomorrow. Because destroyed ankles say what from years of basketball and not, my body being burned out between basketball and track.
So you were a basketball player?
I was in 7th and 8th
wow.
grade, middle school. I played a lot. I was not good at first. Like I'm okay. I was okay by the time I was done. But my family decided I was done because they didn't want to take me to practice anymore.
Well, and then we have seen you posted some track and field photos like
Yeah.
back in whatever, like some trends on Twitter.
Yeah, I did. I was 11 in this one I took. So I was in between events and I'm sitting on the field. There's nothing else for us to do. And they gave us a tiny little shorts and I am tiny. I'm like weirdly muscular. Like if I'm sitting there, you can kind of see like my legs are like all round with muscle, but yet I'm super, super, super skinny because all I did was run. And you could use the equipment because I did shot put, discus, and sprint. So you could take the equipment home and practice with it, but you had to carry it yourself. And I was all of like 60 pounds or something like that. So I carried my musical instrument home, my 30, 40-pound backpack, and 2 shot puts. One was 6 pounds, the other was 8 pounds.
Oh my
And
God.
when I first started playing basketball, I could not even stand at the free throw line and get the ball to the rim because I was just so underweight and unhealthy. But
Yeah.
every day I got home from school after track and basketball, and I would go out to our backyard, like this back like line of our property, and just like throw over and over and over and over and over until my shoulders just burned. And I got there, but it, doing that helped my appetite. And I'd gone to live with my grandparents, so I started eating healthier and then eating in general. And the exercise made me hungry, and kind of it got me on a good track to just have a better life.
Yeah.
But yeah, in those pictures, I'm just so skinny and tiny. And my grandmother had gone to the track meet and was sitting up in the stands and was using the new camera she had bought herself. She liked photography.
Mm.
And sometimes I was the unwilling subject because I did not like pictures. I really don't like them now, but I've learned to just deal with it. But I'm sitting there, and you can see my big glasses from far away. And that picture, I don't even know how far away she is, because I couldn't even see them. I knew where they were in the stands, but I couldn't actually see her from where I was sitting. And I was just sitting there like tugging on grass, like bored. When you sit there and pull on the grass, you have nothing else to do.
Yeah.
And it was a completely candid shot that I did not know existed for a long time, until God knows how many years later, when if she showed me at the time, I didn't remember. It popped up years later in like a photo album or something like that. I'm like, what is this fresh hell? Like that bowl cut, the bowl cut and everything. Amazing.
The good old days.
1997.
I mean, that's quite a ways. I had just graduated. I guess I would have been in 7th grade, probably. Because, yeah. You would have been like in 4th grade?
I was in 6th grade.
6th grade. So in other news,
Cody's not that much older than me.
I mean, we should play the guessing game. And see if anybody can guess. But did you? We've been talking about JoJo Siwa a lot, and in an episode of our podcast earlier. So if you haven't listened to that, check out the JoJo Siwa episode. But we also, because she used to be with Nickelodeon and doing some stuff. But did you see that Nickelodeon Blue's Clues recently had like an ABC song that they did, and for the word P, they included Pride.
Yes,
And
I
everybody
saw
can see
rumors. Not rumors. I saw the post about it. I was reading about that. I thought that was really neat. Like people like JoJo Siwa coming out it inspires more people to come out. Which I mean, yeah, I know I get the whole thing. We shouldn't have to, but it's kind of like a census count. If we don't write our name, if we don't write us down on the census, that's what determines benefits and things that are focused towards our community. And so, yeah, it would be nice if it just didn't matter, but it does. And when people see representation of themselves, obviously not everybody's going to see themselves in a perky white girl who's 17 years old.
Yeah.
But hopefully it continues to inspire more people to come out, so we do see that representation. That's why, celebrities coming out and putting their name out there, it matters. And of course, inspiring more people to come out in their day-to-day lives when you live out loud. I mean, who knows how many people you go to school with that are part of the community and don't even know it, whether you identify as part of the gay community or not, or LGBTQ plus community or not. If you are in the group somewhere, you should be free to live your life out loud and not be harassed for it, or worse. And the more people that continue to come out, the more that people see that we exist, which is crazy because we've all existed since beginning of time or whatever. But here we are, because America.
If if you hadn't seen, I'm going to play it real quick. The Nickelodeon alphabet song.
So magical,
And a nice neighbor nearby.
always outstanding, one of a kind.
And P is full of pride.
Now get ready for an alpha.
So there you go. They had all the flags represented. Gay flag, trans flag, bi flag, all right there. I'm sure they're going to get a lot of backlash, but they have been really progressive in the things that they put out. That is, trying to include anybody and everybody.
Well, also as people that come into these offices, that run these places, it's become, I'm just going to go ahead and say it's become more financially beneficial for a lot of places to just support people.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's a financial thing. So let's not pretend that's not a part of it. But also the people taking over as older executives retire out and people are moving into these administrations. Our generation is, our oldest members of our generation are 40, turning 41 this year. And the youngest ones are around 25, 26. So we're kind of in that prime group where we're becoming a bigger influence, not just on social media and for trends, but for starting to change the world to be more diverse. And each group is more diverse than the previous. So, sure, it's fun having groups try to pull us back to puritanical times, but oh my God, seeing it not really, that's such a small segment of hate. It's just really, really loud. And, it's easy to get distracted by the noise, but for every really hateful peroxide blonde that looks like a banshee, screaming nasty things about us, we have, JoJo Siwa's and people like her out and about and living their lives and not spreading shit, not being hateful, just doing their own thing.
Yeah, for sure. We even had like things like with Star Trek recently, where they already had gay representation by characters on the new Star Trek show. This last season, they had representation for non-binary. So Star Trek, this new Discovery show, is also showing lots of representation. I think we'll only get more and more of that as time. How's the pizza?
It's really good. I have been muting my microphone while I've been chewing. I hope.
Dang it.
Because I don't think anybody wants. I am trying to be respectful.
Remember,
I almost changed my shirt because I realized I was wearing a white shirt. So I'm wearing this hood. I'm wearing a zip up because I wasn't sure how the white would show up.
Matt,
and
like
I'm eating.
doing these live
sweating.
Doing these live streams, we're actually gonna have to change the clothes that we wear. We can't record in the same outfits.
Oh, I always wear. So I love these so much. I have it in like 4 different colors. Come on, yeah.
See, he wants ASMR. Like I told you, people watch them eat. People might pay you
to rent me out and watch me eat. That's on you. If you want to see something that looks like a lion taking down a zebra, you could watch David eat wings. Like, I don't know what it is. He's such a clean eater, I guess you would say, until it comes to wings, and then it looks like an animal attack on Discovery Channel. That's the only way I can describe it. Like, like when the lion, they show the shot of the lion covered in like, everything and mess and blood and everything. That's kind of like what I thought the very first time I ate wings with David. Yeah, it was an experience. And he was like, I'm not ashamed. And he kept right on eating. I'm like,
I feel like we're going to have to bring on...
I admire that confidence.
We're going to have to bring on David to discuss the this new revelation.
Which one?
Well, I guess there's many, but the eating.
Oh, he'll admit it. He's shameless about it, too. He has no problems with stuff like that. One of the most fun things about David is that I'm pretty shameless as far as, anything that I guess would be perceived as a character flaw. and I'm okay with it. And then David is also okay with his own flaws, and they're kind of a source of comedy for us. And we also recognize that when it's that flaw is tripping us up in whatever we're doing, we just kind of let the other take the reins. Like, okay,
Yeah.
I can't do this, so after you. Did you see Buck with another buckhead on his face walking around? No, I did not.
What is that?
I need a little bit
We
of
need more
explanation.
information.
So
Dominique
I
just
am like
asked
warm.
us if we saw something. You're
My office
warm?
is warm, and I was wearing this hoodie, and I've been eating, hot pizza. And I'm like, is it?
Girls having hot flashes.
Yeah, I'm over here having hot flashes. Is it too dark
Again,
over
Matt,
here?
you're getting old. You're getting old.
Yeah, we're gonna fight later.
It's all going downhill.
Oh God, what was it? I probably can't
when I
repeat half our
finally
text messages, but
when I finally get to Matt, he is going to, it's going to be like so long from now, like he's going to like have a fan on, and it's like it's going to be like it's going to be in Texas now. It's going to be like 2 degrees, and he's going to
oh,
have
I
a
hate
fan
having the fan
on,
on.
and I'm like, you're getting the hot flashes. I'm telling you, it's coming.
Oh, I hate having fans
It's
on.
coming.
I don't. I literally will only turn the one on. I have one separate in my office, and I'll turn it on high and face it away from me, so it creates noise in the room, but so I don't have to feel it.
Oh my god, I
Because
have to have fans.
it dries my throat out so bad. It's just a hellscape. Again, another hellscape for me, so I can't deal with it. But David sleeps with the fan on at night, and I'm okay with that. But he also likes the house somewhere between cold and snowing, so somewhere between active, snowstorm and still frozen night.
It sounds
So
amazing.
it is amazing to sleep in, but my mouth and throat get so dry, I'm miserable. So sometimes you'll find me in a bathrobe, like wrapped up, because I like to sleep in underwear and a t-shirt. But if it's a super, super cold night, I'll wrap myself up in a bathrobe, pull the hood down over my face, and sleep kind of sitting up. So
I
I
think
don't
I've
get,
seen these photos.
yeah.
I
Now,
didn't
if
know you
David's on a
actually went to
business trip or
sleep that
something,
way.
well, so if David's on a business trip or something, I will just sleep I can sleep in pajama pants and a t-shirt, but I'll have the temperature either turned down or just slightly up, but a blanket pulled off me, and I'll just use like a thin cover, a very thin
Yeah.
cover, just the basics. I realize it's weird, but my hands and feet get so cold, but my legs and chest, body, torso, and everything will be fine. So
I have to have the ceiling fan going, a side fan going. So if it's the summer, it's the fan going, the side fan going, the air conditioner going, and then probably the air purifier going a little bit louder than normal, plus a humidifier, and uh, Alexa will be like making thunderstorm noises. So if it's not the summer, of course that is all going except the air conditioner. The air conditioner cuts out for the winter. But I have to have all that going. First of all, it feels great, and then I also need all of that noise. So like we went up north, San Francisco area the few week last year, and I didn't bring anything to make noise, and it was so silent. I had to like turn like a sound thing on my phone and let it play all night because it was so quiet. Like I can't deal with quiet when I'm sleeping. But my throat doesn't dry out because I put the sheet over my head and then fall asleep.
So a couple of years ago, I do pull the sheet up over my face to do that. So where my cleft is, my lip gets more dry than the rest of my mouth because it's a damaged spot. So my mouth, when I was born, my lip was like this, like apart. So they cut it and sewed it together. This space on my lip just gets drier. So I use chapstick and stuff. And most of the time, as long as I'm hydrated, it's fine. But in 2016, I had a lot of dental work done. I had caps and a bridge done across my front teeth, but I had temporary ones on. They drilled down my teeth and everything, filed everything down, and I had temporary caps on them for like a week or two while I was waiting for the. So they send off the impressions and what they're going to look like, and then they're made in a lab and sent back to your dentist, and then that's what they put on.
Mm-hmm.
So it takes 5 to 10 days. So David usually goes to sleep before me. He's asleep, and I'm laying there, and as I'm breathing in, the cool air is hurting my teeth so bad. It's like headache, straight pain straight to my face and skull. So I kept pulling the blanket up to cover my mouth, which all I needed was a little bit of protection. If we had had masks then, I would have slept in a mask. Which sometimes I have slept in a mask if I've cut my, like I've bit my lip really bad.
Mm-hmm.
I'll wear a mask so it doesn't get dry, super dry and painfully dry in the middle of the night. And I found that really works. But David would wake up and see that the sheet was pulled up, and he pulled it down off my face. So this happened one night 3 or 4 times. And so I would immediately wake back up from the pain. And of course, he's already right back to sleep. And he's thinking he's like saving my life, and I'm about to end his, because this is extremely painful, by the way. Like every cold breath, just was instant. Like it feels like a knife being rammed through your skull and through your jaw, your teeth, everything. And finally I was like, will you stop touching my face? And so I'm just being a caring boyfriend. I was like, I'm going to kill you. Do you know how much this hurts? And then he's like, okay, I won't touch you. I won't mess with you while you sleep. I'm like, good. I understand that is a normal reaction. However, I was in a lot of pain, and while they were trying to fix all those things, I'd initially gone to the dentist because my jaw locked up. I didn't realize I even had a problem. So I ended up just kind of getting a bill, and then I spent 6 months having like 10 fillings done, all my dental and caps, the bridge, everything, because I did have all that done when I left high school and college, but it's been a few moons since those days. So they're like, your fillings have all worn out. I'm like, really? They're like, you don't have any cavities, but they're all worn out, and you do have some damage. Because I had braces for 5.5 years, so I have some very minor scarring on some of the back of my teeth. So I'm really, really careful with it. And they're like, well, we'll fix it. And I'm like, great.
I'm not looking forward to going back to the dentist. This weekend I was going to say, I think you answered what you're doing this weekend. And it is try not to freeze to death.
I'm not really worried about it. So we got Final Fantasy 14, and we've been playing that. Dominique, yes, definitely the menopause thing.
We're going to do some stuff in the yard. It's going to be kind of nice. And so we're like going to finish working on our vegetable beds. Like we had them a certain way, and then we've decided to change it up a little bit this year. And so we're going to get those all set and get some stuff planted and some other stuff prepped for the spring because it's quickly coming. Our peach tree already has flowers on it, so that's exciting. We got peaches on the way. But just kind of sprucing up the yard because it takes a little bit to get it all back and ready to go again for the spring and all the plantings and the vegetables. So I think that's what we're going to be doing. Maybe editing some videos. We got more security cameras. We're going to hang those up. We got 2 more. Let's see. How many do we have? We have a lot. Every inch is covered.
We do have an alarm on the house. I would like security cameras.
Girl, these are $20. Wise cams. They're $20, and these are the ones I was telling you about that have like the color night vision, and basically it looks like it's daytime even though it's pitch black. And they're indoor, outdoor, so it's great.
Maybe text me.
Okay,
Text David, because just text David. He'll. Well, it's not that I'm incapable. It's just. Those things in your relationship where you're like, you deal with this because
I don't have David's number.
How do you not have David's number?
We only DM on the Twitter.
Well,
I don't have his number though.
I'll text you his number real quick. Do I?
Do you don't even know his number?
Okay. I'm on my laptop, so thank you, iMessage.
While Matt's still doing that, we're going to end up wrapping up here in a second. But since I was talking about videos, we'll see if this plays. I don't know. We've done some testing on some things, and things seem to work, and sometimes they don't work. But here's one of my cocktail videos you can make this weekend. We'll see. Looking for an old school cocktail? How about trying the Crusta? we're going to take cognac, 2 ounces. We're going to pour it into our shaker glass of ice. We have half an ounce of maraschino liqueur, half an ounce of some triple sec, half an ounce of some lemon juice. We're going to take our lavender bitters. We're going to do 2 dashes of those. And then we're going to shake it up. Now be sure to shake it up till it gets chilled down, so shake it up really good. Now once it's chilled down, we're going to pour it into our chilled glass that we've had in the freezer, and we rim with sugar. And there you have it, the Crusta. Now for more cocktails like this, go to my website, cocktailswithcody.com. And until next time, I'm Cody. See you soon. That is the video Matt was telling you about, that like I started shaking the cocktail shaker, and it was an old malfunction cocktail shaker, and it sprayed all over me. And then we fixed it for the video. But that drink is so good. It's so good.
Well, I do laugh about moments like that do happen. I do know you well enough that depending on what mood you might have been in, that maybe I would have like left the room. There's been a few times. So I do know when not to. So when Luna was probably maybe 3 months old, you know, like when cats are just big enough to really get into some stuff, but not grown yet.
Yeah.
I was downstairs and I hear Matt come upstairs and I'm like, okay, one, he used my name. Nobody uses my name, especially David, my family. Nobody actually says Matt or Matthew.
Yeah.
And so I did not move, by the way. I've learned this lesson. And I was like, is everything okay? He's like, nope. I'm like, oh crap. I'm like, is it funny? He goes, no. You know, in a very serious tone. I was like, would I think it's funny? Dead silence. I'm like, oh shit.
Yep.
And I was like, oh crap. He's like, whatever it is, he's like, get it out of your system now before you come up here. So I did. I go upstairs and turn the corner into the guest bathroom, and Luna had a party with an entirely full roll of toilet paper.
I remember you telling me this.
I mean, and it wasn't just on the ground. It was front to back all over this bathroom because she lived in this bathroom for a while.
Yeah.
And so she loves her cat carrier. So her cat carrier, you know, had blankets and stuff in it for her to snuggle in and stay warm. And we put her in there at night because she was big enough to take care of herself, but not big enough to not hurt herself or get in trouble if she got into a fight at night with one of the pets, our dog and our other cats at the time. And she looked like she had just basically re-wallpapered and refloored her house. And it was the funniest I'd ever seen because she looked super proud of herself. and I could not stop laughing. And David, I mean, I could literally see the whites of David's eyes. His eyes were so wide open. And I couldn't stop laughing. And if he can hear me right now, he's probably sitting staring at his phone plotting my demise. So if you hear that I fell down the stairs more than 4 or 5 times and did not survive the weekend, please know that he might have had something to do with it.
I'm gonna have
to trust my family.
I'm gonna have to ask David about that when he comes on and does a video with us.
Because sometimes things will happen, and you can tell immediately he knows I'm gonna find it funny. Because most things don't really raise my blood pressure. They don't really get under my skin. It's not that I don't take things seriously, and I still will take care of things. It's just that I've had a really traumatic life, and I've determined that most things, unless it's going to like cure cancer or solve a major world problem, it's probably a little funny. And it's like, well,
yeah,
you know, and I'm not laughing. I don't laugh to bury my feelings. There is a difference. I'm not like, oh, ha, ha, everything's funny to me and I don't have feelings. Even some of the more terrible things that have happened to me, I have many years past crying about them or being upset about them in that way. I have grieved that part. I've dealt with that part. So now we're to the part where it's like, oh, you know, like those kind of dark humor moments about yourself. That is not to say I do not make dark humor comments about other people's trauma and decide that for them. That's something I've decided for myself. And Cody's experienced it when there's things that I don't think are funny, and I'm not in a humorous mood about it, I have told Cody this part isn't funny, and I need to talk about this, and I verbalized that. I think in the ADHD episode, in season one, or at the end of season one, where we talked about it right when I went on meds, when I kind of said, okay, this is what's been going on. I think I even said it was like, this part isn't funny, and this is a serious thing that we discuss. So it's important to differentiate when something's funny. However, poor David does experience mostly when I'm like, you know.
Well, I'm gonna ask him when. We'll have to have him on soon. I feel like people want to see this.
Yeah, I do too, and I'm really excited because he'll be able to go on from his office, excuse me, I'm sorry, from his office and his computer. So I think it'll be more comfortable for him,
Yeah,
and I really
live
want
from
to
his
I want to test
office.
it. Maybe we'll get him a glass of wine because he doesn't have any drinking restrictions. I think it'd be really funny. I think it'd be funny for me to moderate since I can't really drink right now, and then you and David to have. Oh my gosh, I cannot stop hiccuping. I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm so sorry. For me to moderate, and then you and David to have a couple drinks, and it would just be amusing for me.
It could be fun. I mean, we're gonna do more another late night version of our little show here. We're gonna, I guess, try to get more on a regular schedule for some people. That way, people know when to tune in. Because I've had a few people
Right.
be like, "Oh, I want to watch," and we might try some though that are like a little bit later. Like we might try some like at 5 o'clock my time, so it's a little bit later. So people, if you're watching this replay now, let us know what times work best for you, so we have an idea.
Maybe
We've
we should
tried
do a
different
poll.
times.
Why don't we
But
do a poll on ComaCast, and then you and I can retweet it, and then we'll just kind of collect all the results and kind of see, because
Yeah.
maybe we can do Sunday evenings, or maybe. It seems like if we do during the week, we should do a little later so people are home. But then at the same time, some people listen to us, while they're driving home. But then other times for this, it's like you could either listen or watch. But
the great thing
maybe
about
during the
all
week
of
we should do a
this,
little later.
yeah, the late thing, the great thing about all of this is, of course, you can watch the replay. We do want to remind you though, if you haven't checked out our recent episodes, be sure and do that. We have, I think we're up to like 7 or 8 episodes now for this year. Again, we're doing 2 episodes a week. Next week we'll have some live episodes that we will probably try doing, where you'll just get to see us do our thing, and then before and after we'll be able to answer your questions or whatever, but we'll be doing our episodes live, and so that'll be fun.
Yes, and we did release an episode yesterday that we had recorded, so an actual podcast episode. So that was released yesterday, and we intended to do a live Tuesday, Thursday. However, I'm kind of on the fence of how well it's Friday now, so we might just kind of get to momentarily thought it was Wednesday, but our intent was to do Tuesday, Thursday, and life happened this week. We were both kind of got hit with being in our 30s. I mean, I can't really post our text messages from last night, like the screenshots, because it's just not appropriate. But basically, it was us lamenting the more humorous sides in an inappropriate manner. And
I mean, I am the youngest. I'm the youngest.
Oh yeah, and Cody, how you said, because you don't. Now, I will say you absolutely do not look your age at all, and I do get people telling me that they don't believe me at first when I'm 30. They say I'm 34. I'm like, if you see me in person, I think you believe me. But thank you. But you're kind of simultaneously 20 and 73 at the same time sometimes, though, because like. No, it's more like 20, 25, and 73 at the same time.
Wow.
Because, like, I could go through my phone and probably pull some really great examples. Because you have like sometimes the cadence of a 73-year-old, but you have the energy and the cadence and ideas of a 73-year-old. Like, they're always well-formed, thought out, and there. And The only other, I would say, 73 part is like you have the stubbornness of like a 73-year-old and standing in a fucking pharmacy waiting for their meds. Like, oh my God. Like, you are bullheaded in a way that is just, actually, I love it because it's made all of this possible. But I would hate to be on the receiving end of that. But everything else about you is youthful and vibrant because everything you do has such color to it. You always bring, like, right down to your decorations. It's always new and fresh and colorful. And when you do think of an idea or I bring something to you, you take the idea and you trim it, you add this, you add that. You don't just cut away from it and say like, okay, let's start here. You're like, okay, you like throw it on paper and say, all right, this is what can work. This is what we can do. Let's add to this here. We can trim that. We can make this happen. And you just like leap for it. And it's one of my favorite things about you because I don't have the know-how that you do, but I have that like, well, I don't care if it doesn't work right the first time. And you're like, I don't care if it doesn't work right the first time either. Let's try it. Because many times I've gotten several DMs about people that do want to start podcasts. And they're like, well, how do you start it? And I was like, well, this is what we did. Well, I don't have that knowledge. I said, neither do I. But it's definitely a learn as you go. And you definitely already had a lot of the knowledge. You just started modifying it for, here and changing things around and, how to work with somebody several states away. But yeah, that's where I would say it was like, you're definitely not like the standard 35-year-old older millennial. You definitely, it's 99% like energy and go, like the chicken coop. You have like 6 projects going. And when I said I was going to leave, I was thinking about leaving my job. You were number 1 at the top of the list. Like, go ahead, girl, quit that job. Fuck that 9 to 5. We're going to have to do so much editing for my F-bombs today. But they were for emphasis. But you were like,
first of all, I like how you're saying we're going to do editing. This is all live.
Well, we're on the playback for the podcast part. If we decide to make this a podcast. But you know what? There's way worse stuff. It's not like, we showed anything inappropriate. That's the after hours.
The after hours.
That's for Coma fans.
And apparently for TikTok. I believe you haven't gotten a TikTok yet.
I thought you said TikTok, and I was like, Cody.
Well, that's basically what it is.
I did get a TikTok.
You did? I didn't think you did.
I downloaded it that night. I remember like right before midnight. I'm like, no, I promised him I would. So I have a couple ideas. So you and I have to do like a separate FaceTime or this off camera where we plan out some TikToks. I almost said TikToks.
I mean, yeah, they're there. I send Matt TikToks all the time.
Oh my God, I love it.
Maybe we'll have to pull up some next time or something. Some of the ones I sent him.
Send me some of the funniest things I've ever seen in my life. And there was something I wanted to send to you last night that I did not. Wendy's did like National Roast Day, like the actual official Wendy's account, and all these verified accounts, and some not, everyday people jumped in, and Wendy's roasted the living hell out of so many people in the funniest way. And I mean,
Wendy's, that account has always been that way.
I love it.
In recent years, like the people who run that account, like that takes a lot of effort and talent, and it has to be a team that's really good because all these companies have social media teams, and so it has to be a team that's really on top of it because it's not just one person doing it.
Obviously, yeah.
And it's hard to do that. It's hard to replicate that. Other people have tried to replicate that, and it's a very difficult. It's a difficult thing to do.
Being quick on your feet is something that is appreciated and not appreciated. A lot of times, like people think I'm being crass for the sake of being crass, and I'm not. Very rarely am I. I mean, even I terrorize you in our text messages sometimes, but I'm usually referencing something you and I have joked about, talked about. I mean, and of course, I mean, if you listen to us or see us interact on Twitter, or you've seen me, I will take the fall for this. See me interact on Twitter. Cody's like, whore.
It's all Matt.
But yeah, I mean, like the Sephiroth thing that he's. Did you ever ask Justin and Gabe if they played or know what Final Fantasy VII is?
No, I thought you were texting Justin and asking him.
Oh, that's right. I did mean to. Okay, I own that
That
one.
was not me.
You know who I got a DM from?
Who?
Guess who I got a DM from? I've never spoken to them in my life. I'm so excited I finally connected with them.
I have no idea.
Well, I can't. I almost said something super inappropriate. They were just recently in quarantine, but are not anymore.
Oh, Gabe?
Yeah. He's like, oh yeah? So he's been using his phone again, I see.
Out of quarantine, yes.
You're like, you're like counting back days. You're like, he said he was out of quarantine, did he?
It's been since
Let me check the keypad. There's like a security gate
Tuesday, I
on the
guess.
door.
It seems like it's been so much longer, but it was only Tuesday. Hi, Jonathan.
No, I
Thank you for joining
got
us.
to catch up with Gabe a little bit, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is so fun because I've been hearing about him for, oh my gosh, so many years. And he was telling me like how he, had been through San Antonio a couple years ago and everything. I was like, what, really? I live here. But I thought that was just really fun for just a moment that, because I didn't really realize I'd never actually spoken to him because, you and I interact so freely.
Mm-hmm.
And, neither of our partners are jealous people. So Justin and David never are like, you're talking to Matt or Cody again? Oh, Seriously, that's the face I see when I see people like giving their partners a stink eye. And I'm like,
I feel like David's like, oh, thank God.
Right. That's usually what he goes with. Like when people ask him,
I can have peace.
Bother you that he has an alt account? I used to get text messages from guys, or not text, but DMs from guys that said, we did address this in his Q&A, that he does not care what I post. But I would frequently get, does your husband know that your butt is on Twitter? And I'm like, a little worse than that's on Twitter, but okay. And David, the first time I was reading them out loud to David, he goes, tell them no, it'll be much funnier to see if they
I know, right?
So he can be all like, oh my God, how could he do this to us? Thank you for telling me.
Oh my God. I feel like we're gonna have to have that conversation when David.
Last year, somebody, I think it was an angry Twitter gay on a burner account. They publicly called out David because his bio says only thirsty online. And I think it's important to acknowledge that David is asexual. And I've known him a long time. So, we don't worry about those things either. I mean, if you're going to leave me for some cute younger guy, you're going to do it. And it's a matter of time, not, oh my God, this faceless account.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, maybe if the faceless account is, a Rockefeller or something, well, we had a good run. And, but the person started saying how David, I needed to watch my back on Twitter, or I need to watch my back because David says thirsty online. So therefore it means that I should watch my back because he's clearly doing things. And I'm like, if David's managing this if he's managing something that I'm somehow not aware of when we are home together, literally 24/7 and have been for 4 years, then I'm super impressed with this time management skill. And you know what? Go ahead. Go.
I remember that.
Unless you're like literally teleporting from like out of the room, then. But it was so funny. I was like, at first I thought the person was kidding, so I played along and I was like, oh my God, they're serious. Oh.
So yeah, I remember that. That was so crazy.
And it was like, can you guys just picture David, 6'3", trolling for tops on Twitter? Feed me.
We need David on here. So if you've been here, thank you for joining us. If you watched the replay, thank you for watching. Again, be sure and check out all the episodes that we do have posted. Me and Matt will discuss stuff off camera, but we'll figure out a schedule here so that you can all participate on a more regular basis. And mainly the people who are here are always here with us no matter what, and thank you so much. But if you're watching the replay, we understand that there's work, there's jobs, there's life, etc. So we're going to try to do probably 2 or 3 lives a week, and so it'll be at different times so you can all participate. And so yeah, I hope all of you have a great weekend. Do you have anything else, Matt, as we say?
Johnny Apollo joined us too, along with Dominique. Yay. I had sent out, if you remember when I got rid of all those movies, all the movies I sent out to Dominique and his husband all arrived, and I'm so
Oh,
excited.
yay.
So they are all there, and they have tons of stuff to watch. So I'm so excited. We really hope you enjoy them. I still have a ton to get rid of.
Well,
So, yeah, please. But Cody, do you have anything else?
no, I mean, if you're watching the replay and you don't follow us, you can follow our ComaCast Twitter at the ComaCast. You can also follow me and Matt right down here at the bottom.
Yeah,
Cody
we can't really
Rodriguez
say
at I'm
that.
Poetic AF. Mine is for everything, basically. If you do want to follow my TikTok, it's John Cody Rodriguez, JOHN.
I think we should address sometime that your first name is not Cody, but
Yeah, we can do that because yeah. I
think
mean,
this would be a good conversation. Oh, you know what? Do you want to? What do you think? Saturday or Sunday? Do you want to do maybe a Saturday live?
it's
Or
possible.
Or
It's
Sunday?
possible.
It's possible.
I'll see. I'll check. What do y'all want to do? Let us know.
Yeah. So Johnny and Paul
messages.
also didn't know that.
So I get there's so much that
am-
we have to reveal.
I
Yeah,
am Poetic AF, and that is only my main Twitter account. If you would like to follow me on Snapchat, just send me a DM either through ComaCast or to my main account. I always respond. As long as you don't send something overly predatory, I will respond just fine.
well, we thank all of you for joining us, and we will see you again soon. Bye.
Yeah. Bye, everyone.